Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you have not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at JustSaying, for article and video updates. Week 5 Sunday continues, man, at 4 o'clock. Let's just jump right into it, man. Two AFC possible playoff teams this year. One of them was last year. Cleveland Browns going to LA to take on the Chargers. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm looking to see this Browns offense against this really tough Chargers defense. We've been able to, really see both of these defenses actually be top 10 throughout the year. Both middle of the pack with the offense is not what you'd expect with these two quarterbacks and their systems. But for Cleveland, it's really just been all about their run game. Just pretty much all day. They're first. They're averaging 177 rushing yards per game. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, absolutely going off this year. But it's going to really be this Cleveland Browns running game versus this Chargers passing game for me.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, we just got reports this week. Baker Mayfield tore a labrum in his left side and his non-throwing shoulder on a tackle against Houston in week 2. We saw a little bit last week against the Vikings. He was not moving the ball effectively. There's no OBJ. There's no Jarvis for them. So, yeah, it's going to have to go through the ground game. But they're going to be out there starting left tackle, Jedrick Wills Jr. That's a huge loss for this offensive line and for them to pass the ball and move the ball. I'm going to lock in the Chargers, man. They were absolutely electric last week against the Raiders. Everyone was very high on, including ourselves. Justin Herbert was 25 for 38, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns. Austin Eckler had 3 receptions and a touchdown, ran for over 100 yards and a touchdown. This offense is firing on all cylinders. And now when you bring in a Browns team that is really good, but they're so depleted with their players right now, it just makes it so much more favorable to me for this Chargers team that has just been absolutely electric to start the season.
Yeah, and the defense, you mentioned it. Just Jedrick Wills being out, it's just so tough for me to pick Cleveland in this one. As much as I love this team, what they're doing, I love their run game, their old, playing style. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, as I mentioned, they're just doing so great this year. Nick Chubb, second most rushing yards in the league. They're definitely, trying to give Baker as much comfortability as he can get. But it is a tough scenario for this team going into LA. This defense of the Chargers doing great. Austin Eckler is just tearing defenses apart, making them, change their scheme. So I'm going with the Chargers on this one as well.
I love it. Moving on, we have the Chicago Bears heading to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Now, no Andy Dalton as a starter. Justin Fields is locked in as the full-time starter right now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, good for Justin Fields. Worked all summer, got the training you needed from Andy Dalton, and now it's time for him to take the reins. I would like to see the Bears offense kick it up a little, especially with David Montgomery now out for the next several weeks with a knee injury. Damian Williams will be taking his place. Veteran running back, used to be with the Chiefs. We've seen him get it done in the past, but I want them to figure out the identity of this Chicago Bears offense because they got 1 passing touchdown for the entire year. Allen Robinson has 13 catches in 4 games. David Montgomery is out. How do you not feed him and Mooney during this, Las Vegas matchup? But now, Las Vegas, we've been asking if they're real. Are they feeling more real now, Sean?
I think Las Vegas is real, man. I mean, they didn't put up their best game last week against the Chargers. But every team has those games. They're playing legit. I like it. I think you're absolutely right. There's no David Montgomery, so you can't necessarily rely on the run game of this. Damian Williams did very well last week, 8 for 55 and a touchdown. They're also playing the Lions. The Raiders defense is a much more improved team compared to the Lions. The offense is much more improved than that. It's going to be a little bit more of a difficult matchup. And Justin Fields, 11 for 17, no touchdowns and interception. He's going to need to have another similar game like that. I think what you need to do and hope for the best is that you go into this game, you keep it close with your good defense of the Bears, and he's just able to move the ball and set you up for field goals, for simple run-in touchdowns. You're not going to maybe necessarily ask him to bomb it deep downfield all the time. Yeah. You just want to show that he can manage the game and that he understands the playbook. And then you slowly begin to open up the playbook more as you see him getting more and more comfortable in the system right now. I think that, yes, you want to win games, but if you're Matt Nagy and you're this Bears team, your number one most important thing is to make sure that your young quarterback who already had a tough 9-sack game against the Browns continues to build week by week and get better and build his confidence confidence up. I think that if you don't do that and you just try to go after the wins only, it's only going to hinder his development. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. And they've been playing the very well so far this season. I trust this team. Derek Carr still looks solid. Darren Waller has been amazing.
Yeah.
No Peyton Barber for the next couple of weeks with an injury as well. So that is some news to monitor. It's going to be a lot of Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs. But I think the Bears right now, just work on Justin Fields. Let's develop him a little bit more. Show us that he understands the playbook right now where he's at, and we'll slowly bring in more plays as the season continues, and we're going to face some more teams.
Yeah, no, and I do like the Raiders in this one. It's going to be a big matchup for them. I am kind of awaiting to see, what happens with them here in a matchup where they, I believe, have the chance really to win at home. I'm excited for the Raiders. I'm going to go with them on this one. And Derek Carr, love what he's doing. They're getting Henry Ruggs involved. He has 14 catches for almost 300 yards. This guy is legit. So very excited to see what they do.
Moving on, we have the San Francisco 49ers heading to Arizona, taking on the Cardinals. Dude, the Cardinals are red hot. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, top scoring offense for the Cardinals right now, 35 points a game. Kyler Murray leading the league in accuracy. He is looking great. Trey Lance getting his first start in this one. I'm very interested to see how he matches up against this Cardinals defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardinals defense every single day in practice goes up against Kyler Murray. They are ready for athleticism. They are ready for a mobile quarterback. The only thing they might not be ready for is a quarterback who's not afraid to throw it on his shoulder, which Trey Lance is. All this being said, Cardinals are red hot. Their offense is playing great. Their defense is playing even better. They're really playing complementary football in all phases of it. That's what you want to see at this time in the season. You expect it to continue going on, assuming no injury to Kyler Murray like there was last year. They had something like this going on last year. Happy it's now happening. I'm locking in the Cardinals on this one. I think they're going to get a win and maintain their undefeated stature.
Definitely. And, they were able to, just show over the last couple of weeks why they are a really big threat right now. Everybody getting involved in the passing game, even the running game for the Cardinals and James Conner, Chase Edmonds is looking good. I'm trusting them in this one as the Niners are totally like in a transitional period right now. But, the Cardinals, they're super legit. I think they'll be 5-0 by the end of this week.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Moving on, NFC East showdown. Your New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And the last time these two teams played in Dallas, Dak Prescott injured his ankle. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm hoping that everybody is safe and good in this one. I want a good rivalry game. It's very tough for the Giants to go to Dallas. I think that, the way Zeke and Tony Pollard are playing, especially, Trevon Diggs on the defense for the Cowboys, he's going to have a little easier week this week with no Sterling Shepard, no Slayton. But as a Giants fan, I'm kind of excited to see, Tony Golladay, offseason acquisitions from this summer, getting some spotlight last week in that win versus Saints.
Yeah, you gotta look towards those guys, your rookie first rounder and your big signee. I mean, there's going to be no Sterling Shepard, there's going to be no Darius Slayton. Those are your top two wide receivers basically gone. If you're a Giants fan like yourself, but you have to be happy with Saquon Barkley getting 50 yards the last 3 games, the way he scored the touchdown last week in the overtime. Daniel Jones has been playing pretty well. Only 1 interception that happened last week against the Saints. This is kind of what you were hoping for in year 3. Hopefully those numbers increase. He did throw the ball a lot of yards last week, but you want to see a few more touchdowns if possible. All that being said, I got to go with the Cowboys in this one, man. I think that their offense is really starting to click. Zeke looks really, really good right now. Dak is playing excellent. And I think they want to rally around Dak in his game back up against the Giants because this was the game that they lost him in last year. So you got to rally around your quarterback and get the win for him.
Yeah, and, Dallas, even with Saquon doing well last week, finally getting, more than 20 touches, finally, just getting a couple of touchdowns, feeling like he's really back. And, Dallas right now, second best against the run, per game. I think that it's going to be a tough matchup. And Dallas's offense, like you said, right now, they can definitely rally. They have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. Very interesting matchup here. I think it's going to be a great game, but in Dallas, the Giants have never had the best of luck. So I do have to lean on Dallas on this one.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. All right, moving on. Sunday night football. This is a good one. Little AFC Championship rematch with the Buffalo Bills heading out to Kansas City, taking on the Chiefs. Now, if we all remember how last year's game ended, you could see all the confetti flying, all the Chiefs fans, all the Chiefs players getting happy and excited. Maybe not fans, now that I'm thinking about it. But Stephon Diggs was standing there at the end of the game watching them celebrate. This is his game, I think, man.
Yeah, I think that this is a great opportunity. Kansas City right now, second worst defense when it comes to scoring. The Bills, the best defense right now. Patrick Mahomes, the best passer right now when it comes to touchdowns. He has 14 touchdowns in 4 games. Very impressive. 5 last week, 3 to Tyreek Hill. So many, huge things for this offense, but it really is on the defense of the Chiefs here to be able to stop Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah, and when we're talking about the Chiefs, it's their defense that are killing them more than anything. They have just not been able to stop anyone. Their offense is just bleeding rushing yards, it's bleeding passing yards, they're bleeding points. They're pretty much not stopping anyone. But that offense is able to keep them in games and help them win a few because they're so good. But all that being said, when you're looking at this game, it's going to come down to which defense can really win. We both know that these offenses can score. They're two of the top highest scoring teams in the NFL. I think they both average around 31.5 or 34.5 points a game. That's as best. That's as good as it's going to get in the NFL. You can't really get much better than 5 touchdowns a game. Yeah. Quite honestly, it's going to come down to that defense and which defense can make a stop in the crucial moment. In that crucial 3rd and 3 in the 4th quarter, it's going to completely shift momentum on a close game. That's the defense you got to lean towards. And I'm looking at these rosters. I'm looking at how these teams have played. You got to go with the Bills on that. You got to give the Bills defense credit where credit is done. They play well. Their offense is playing great. Their defense is playing great. I'm locking in the Bills, and they're going to get a win in Arrowhead.
Yeah, and I think that we even saw it a couple weeks ago with the Baltimore game, that even in Kansas City with the prime time right now, they still have a couple of things to figure out. They're not an immortal team like they were the last couple of years. They do have a lot of key pieces, but they are a beatable team.
Absolutely.
Especially from, these Bills team that has been having a couple of 40-point games this year, a couple of blowout victories against, rival opponents. This is going to be a big matchup for them, but I'm going with the Bills in Kansas City this week.
Yeah, gotta trust Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, that entire defense. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. That is all the time that we have.
Yeah, thank you all for checking us out. Just Saying Football, justsayingfootball.com, Just Saying Football on YouTube for all the videos. Just Saying WJS on Instagram for all the video article updates. Thank you for watching. Enjoy some football.
Enjoy.